Tito.
Yeah.
Are you
Yes,
going to
sir.
include? Are you going to include Gross Singers in that?
I am. There is going to be a whole. I think we should do a whole actual
I saw your
episode.
father at Gross Singers.
Did you?
Yeah.
Historical place in upstate New York in the Catskill Mountain region. They call it the Borscht Belt. And let me tell you, that's the most that's the most awesomest place. And my father played throughout that whole place. Gross Singers, the Nebeli, Las Villas, all those places up in the Borscht Belt. There were Jewish comics and Mambo guys. They call them the Mambo. Are you Mambo Nicks? That's what you guys call Mambo Nicks.
I remember, because my father used to go up there we used to go up there all the time. And I remember, as a little kid, I'm in my 60s, even though I don't look it. But I remember a little kid going to see and sitting in the nightclub and Tito performing, and I was just mesmerized. It was.
Oh wow!
I love that music. I mean, Judy comes home and I say, you know what to put on. It's my groove. It's my vibe.
Yeah.
Are you guys originally from Brooklyn or from Manhattan?
No, I'm from Long Island.
Okay, so you're from Ireland.
I'm from Maryland originally.
Okay, all right. Well, that was the place where all of all the Jews and Italians from Brooklyn would go on the weekends up to Gross Singers and dance mambo and get dance lessons, and they would dance mambo all weekend and then go back to work on that Sunday night. They would drive back to New York City. I wish I lived in that era. I heard it was just amazing. Big band swing music at Gross Singers. Just amazing stuff. I believe Doc Severinsen, the trumpet player, was playing with my father back then at Gross Singers. He was on the horn section, Mr. Doc Severinsen. Yeah, man. Great times. And that will be in the docuseries, especially because that was a very instrumental and poignant point of my father's career, where he took mambo music and brought it to the masses and to all creeds and colors would dance to his music, not only at the Palladium, but also in the Borscht Belt, where the Jewish people would come and they'd mambo nicks. They're called mambo nicks. They would all come up and dance to Tito Puente. Yeah, I love it. Very exciting.
You got yourself unmuted. Did you have a question, Dad?
Yes. I had a trivia question for.
A trivia question.
No.
Oh, let's see if I can get it.
You gotta excuse me because I'm getting old. Your name?
Tito?
Tito.
How can you forget?
Tito. Tito.
That's what I'm saying. That's what happens when you get old. But I was going to ask you a trivia question. See if you can remember that far back. Okay,
no.
Here we go.
Go, Dad.
Caballero, ¿por qué tú tienes miedo, Watusi? Who was that?
Wow, that's. Pero este es español. Mira, él dice que caballero, ¿qué?
Caballero, ¿por qué tú tienes miedo, Watusi?
La Watusi. Mira para ahí. Okay.
What is
Watusi? So,
first of all?
que dice que Watusi. Well, that's a song. And my father had a song called El Watusi.
Yeah. But the guy that used to sing it was Mongo Santa Maria.
Claro que sí, Mongo Santa Maria, conguero supremicio that played with my father's orchestra, El Watusi. Claro que sí. And I'm trying to figure out the album that was from Tico Records. Historical record. El Watusi was the name of the song. Mongo Santa Maria and Willie Bobo was playing the campana and bongo. Those were percussion players that really were instrumental in bringing that sound, that Tito Puente sound. They did a whole album called Puente Percussion. But Mongo Santa Maria was an incredible conguero, worldwide known. And my father worked with him for probably some 35 years, possibly. But he was in the Puente Orchestra. Very incredible conga player. And those of you who don't know, look him up. Mongo Santa Maria. He wrote the tune called Watermelon Man. Popular song. Popular Latin jazz tune. Yeah. Incredible. That's some trivia. That was good trivia. You got me. I got stumped.
Does else have anything they want to ask Tito while I got you here? Oh, Judy. Oh, you got to unmute. Yep.
Hi, Judy.
Hey, Tito. How you doing?
All right, girl.
So I have a question for you. So you said you were on tour and performing, and all of a sudden everything shut down. I'm a TV host, and on a much lower level, the same thing happened to me. I got, my dream job, and I'm rocking and rolling. I'm finally reached a point in my career where I feel like I'm succeeding. I'm on set, and it's craving that spotlight, the audience, everything, and then it shuts down all of a sudden. My question to you is, are there any methods that you use to keep creative? Because I feel like, I'm in my house now, and I'm like, for me, it's so hard to find that creative outlet,
Right.
Almost like too much time pining for the spotlight or what I used to do and going back and forth. Is there anything specific that you use to do that?
Very good question, Judy. And of course, I got to throw in, if I think you should have a Corona every day. We're going to help our sponsors. That's a very
pour some in here. You're right.
Yeah, you should. I could tell you,
I'll have one for dessert.
These platforms that we're doing, the Zoom and stuff, really, really help out. I feel great when I'm interacting with people like I'm doing now. My father taught me one thing. He said, and I always take this to heart, and I love sharing this with people. My son, surround yourself with creative people, thus you will be creative. In these hard times that we have this, of course, COVID-19 and social distancing, it's very hard to be around creative people. I get inspiration from every one of my band members, any orchestra member that I'm around, or any musician for that matter.
I pulled in and I became an introvert a little bit.
Yeah, well, I can understand that. I can't really do that because I've always been an extroverted person. Like, hey, how are you? How you doing? I always love interacting, and I understand that you have television personality. You've really people are looking for you actually on TV. Hey, why aren't you on television? And then you have to explain to them, hey, well, there's nothing really going on right now simply because of the COVID-19. I completely understand that too. Yeah. It's very, very tricky. I find solace in hanging out with my kids, hanging out with my wife, and and spending more time with my family.
I did that for the first few months,
Yeah. And then you hit the Corona. But I feel you. I'm going to say these platforms are fantastic. I would say stick to these things. And hey, I love chatting every single week.
Because honestly, this is one of the first I've done, I'm ashamed to say, over the past few months. But I have had family time, and I have, done a lot of other things. But yeah, I guess I have to reach out a little bit more.
Reach out a little bit more. I didn't realize it either. I was always like, oh, well, I don't want to talk on a thing like this. And I feel so much better when I'm doing this. And, it's funny because my kids are like, shut up in the background over here. Because they know I love to talk. But when I talk with them, I'm always goofing around. But this is great because I get to celebrate my father's life and legacy with somebody else. Hey, you inspire me and I inspire you. And I'll look for you on TV one of these days.
Thank you. And you know what? Thank you so much for doing this and bringing that inspiration to us, because someone like me, I need it, and my husband too, and we appreciate you.
I'm going to say this last thing. Make sure you listen to some Tito Puente music. I promise you guys, you will feel better.
Every night.
Every day.
Almost every night.
Every day.
It's on my iTunes.
Yes, that'll inspire you to have a fantastic day and mambo the day away. I put on Alexa over here, and I'm like, Alexa, play Tito Puente. It starts at 7 a.m., and my father has so much music that it goes all the way to midnight. Just Tito Puente music all day. And it makes the day go so much faster, and sooner than you know it, we'll be live on tour, and you guys will be my VIP guests and come hang out with me.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I appreciate that. That would love that. That'd be a dream come true.
Judy, you're going to be just fine, girlfriend. I want to see you on TV. Do your thing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm on my way.
All right. Good luck. Cool.
Anybody else? Dave. What about Dave there in his music room?
Where's Dave?
Somewhere.
Saludo. Hey, what's up, Dave?
How are you?
What's going on, boss?
Same deal. I had a bunch of gigs lined up, and one day they were there, and the next day they were canceled. So
man.
I did play Tuesday night to a bunch of people in a field, which was actually super cool.
Lucky you. Wow, man, I haven't even gotten to that point yet. Wow, how was that? It was just like, did they interact?
Totally. I mean, it's kind of like people had masks on and stuff, but people kind of were in their own zones with the people that they came with, like the family and stuff, like and friends,
Right.
that they're, like, you know, tight with. So
Yeah.
like, group of people here, group of people there, group of people, you know. But it was a great turnout. Everyone seemed to be starving for live music. You know, I mean, just they have.
God, and I'm ready to give it. You know, the hardest part, Dave, with what I do and what my late father did too, is that we play music for people to dance to. It's so tricky. Like a rock concert and maybe jazz music, I understand people sitting down in a theater format or, you know, performing arts center. With Tito Puente music, man, I need a dance floor. So the social distancing goes out the door, you know?
You can't listen to Tito Puente and not take it. I mean, come on.
Right. And I think my father really encouraged that for people to feel his music and to enjoy it and dance to it. And man, but you know, hopefully, Dave, me and you get back out there on the road, because that's what we do. We entertain people when we give off that's something that can't be replicated through virtual concerts or through platforms. You have to be live, man. And what do you play, by the way?
I play drums, guitar.
You're a drummer.
You know, drums is my first instrument. Guitar is my second. I've been playing both. I was like 8, 10 years old. So.
Yeah, I love that you said that. My father used to say, "Are you a bass player or a drummer?" And I would say to my father, I said, "Well, no, drummers are frustrated bass players. Basses are frustrated drummers." Exactly. I couldn't get the guitar thing, but that's cool. You play 2 separate instruments.
It depends what band I'm in at the time.
Yeah.
The gig I just played last night was a drum gig, or Tuesday was a drum gig, so.
Right.
Well, I haven't been playing like as much as I normally do, so my calluses are kind of, you know. Yeah. It was a blister night and a lot of humidity, you know. It was rough.
Well, Dave, if you need a cowbell player, I'm available.
Cowbell work is outstanding.
Yeah. I got a cowbell.
Yeah, Dave, next time tell us what field and we'll come join you.
Yeah, man. All right. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise.
Yeah, man. It's cool talking to musicians. And I'm so glad that my father's music inspired not only Dave, but every percussion player around the world. I love seeing drummers, you know, get that influence, that Tito Puente influence, because he did some really cool rhythms and times, and the solos were just impeccable. And I see so much of that online. I always run into stuff. Tell me.
I got to say, like, you know, when Tina and I first went down to New Orleans for the very first time, we were just going to check out the music scene, and your dad happened to be playing down there at the House of Blues.
Oh my God, I remember that.
It was awesome. It was just just because it wasn't anything that was even on our plan, but we got down there and we just saw it in one of the local, like, you know, music, flyer things or whatever. Yeah. Like, you should go see Tito Puente. Like, you know, it's just it's incredible, man. Just absolutely incredible. So to see on the legacy, it's super cool, you know.
Thanks, Dave. You know, I always put my father in the same bracket, and Tchaikovsky, Duke Ellington, Count Basie, Tito Puente. You know, he was in that moniker of icons that really made a staple and became something that once in our lifetimes, all of us, you know, we might not ever see a great legend like that in our next lifetimes, but they were just rare people. Celia Cruz, Tito Puente, those icons, they were just fantastic stars to look at. And I'm so grateful that we got the opportunity to spend time with them and see them live in the performance. I always felt magic every time I went to my dad's concert, man. He could make a crowd move like crazy, man. Just like a herd of mambo cattle. Wild. Really, really cool.
When we went into the event, we saw it. It was like a whole different thing, like the vibe, everybody dancing. It was crazy. Like, it was super fun.
Yeah.
I'm so happy we got to experience it. So.
Muy caliente.
Anybody else? I see somebody here, this Alyssa, who has a beautiful scene in the back of her. I don't know where she is or what she's doing. Can you unmute yourself?
That is actually a picture where my daughter lives in New Hampshire at Weir's Beach. And I use it on my background because we do business, you know, meetings on Zoom. So I use that rather than the old boring one.
Yeah.
All right.
I used to be
La Playa.
Yeah, right. I mean, in the event and food business, I was a chef and then worked at my culinary school. And in a way, it's better that I'm not in that now. I kind of transitioned into real estate. And I have to tell you, here in New Jersey, the real estate is unbelievable because everyone's trying to get out of New York and get out into the suburbs. So I wish you all good luck in your jobs. And I hope you get back on TV and you get your music back too.
Oh, thanks, Alyssa. I appreciate that.
And Mambo in the morning when making breakfast is the best.
Make sure you listen to some Tito Puente music. I bet you your day will be better.
I used to work at the Copacabana in events.
Did you?
Oh,
You're a Copacabana girl. Wepa. I love that.
Just before they moved from 31st.
You on the original Copa that was on 63rd?
No.
Or 62nd?
No, 34th.
Oh, the 34th.
Yeah, by the Javits Center.
Oh, right. But that wasn't the one that went downstairs. That was on the east side, wasn't it?
No, we had a downstairs and we had an upstairs. And then shortly after I left, the New York City did a renovation and they knocked all those buildings down.
You're on the west side. You're on the west side, Copa. Yeah. I love that one. My father played at that one all the time. Oh, yeah. I love that one. Yeah, they had the hip hop downstairs and the mambo dancing upstairs. It was freaking awesome. But the backstage was downstairs.
Right.
I remember that because I had to haul the drums upstairs all the time. But yeah, I remember the Copa. So you work with our friend Glebe Ballard.
I work with Tom. I work with Dorn, Peter Dorn.
Oh, Peter Dorn. That's right. Yeah. Okay.
He passed away last year.
Yes. Yeah, fantastic cats. Wow, man, you're old Copa chick, man. I used to go there all the time. I loved it. Yep. That's when they had metal detectors. Oh, wow. That's so great. Well, that's so good that I see. So, well, you must have had a really great experience because they had everybody. You had Tuesday nights going at the Copacabana where, and they had Latin jazz nights, and then they had different types of music each and every night. But my father loved playing there. Played there a lot.
Yeah, it was a great stage, and they had a lot of parties. A lot of parties.
A ton of parties. Wow, I remember all of them. Well, all the great mambo people too. Mark Anthony started out in the Copacabana, La India. Man, my father, of course. Tony Vega, Jose Beto Canario played there all the time. That was fantastic. Will always be remembered. They need to do a movie on the Copa.
Well, they're opening up a new one, I understand.
From what I heard, they're going to open up a new one. Yeah. So hopefully, we'll cross our fingers. We need some places to play, right, Dave? For sure. Alyssa, man, it's so pleasure to meet you. We probably cross paths, maybe.
No, what a very cool tie-in.
Yeah, because I went to the Copa every week.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
It was fun. Yeah. It was an amazing place, and some of the greatest Latin musicians performed there, including my father, Celia Cruz, Johnny Pacheco, Fania All-Stars. Everybody performed at Copacabana. It's one of those iconistic clubs, that really made an impact in New York City. And my father did a live record there, as a matter of fact. Yeah. It was Puente live at the Copa, but it could have been the other Copa on the east side.
It could have been, yeah. I have pictures of my in-laws at the other Copa on the east side.
Yeah.
It used to be like dinner clubs. You used to go for the whole evening.
It was a dinner. It was, they had tables and stuff like that. Yeah, the other Copa had tables too, but it was more of a dance floor.
Right.
Man, great mambo dancing. Oh, just legendary. Legendary Copacabana. Yeah. Man, I saw a guy with a tattoo with the girl and the hair. It was great. Cool stuff.
Yeah, it was great.
Man, pleasure.
I can't wait for the biopic for the series.
There will be definitely a mention of the Copacabana and all the nightclubs in New York City. There was some fantastic clubs that my father performed at. Not only just the Palladium, there was Roseland and the Copa and Latin Quarter. There was so many, right there in Manhattan. But the Copacabana will be featured in the docu-series. Okay. It was one of those legendary places that he loved performing at.